I think too many people had seen a lot of Faye Dunaway in movies when I happened to come on the advertising scene and thought I fitted that niche.
Well, okay, but since you joined the agency, you've conducted quite a clean-out. I mean, you have fired 4 out of 5 of the founder partners. Okay, that's a fairly gutsy move.
Not really. Not really at all. I haven't fired 4 out of 5, in fact. Your fact's a little wrong there. I fired 2 out of 4 who have left, who had the option to leave, and
why did the other 2 leave?
Sorry?
Why did the other 2 leave?
I paid them to leave.
Moe Jenns can be a highly persuasive lady. At 37, she's managing director of the British end of Bozell Jacobs, the world's 11th biggest advertising agency. In Britain, they're still relatively small, but Moe Jenns has a very clear view of where she and her company are going. Miles Young graduated from Oxford 2 years ago with a degree in history and set out to earn his honours in advertising with Lintas, a British subsidiary of the world's biggest advertising combine. Micky Dolenz is trying to get a new career going too. He used to star in an American television series. Now he wants to direct the commercial breaks.
Coming from the States, I think they're marvelous art form. I mean, it's a cliche that some of the commercials are better than the television shows, so I won't even bother to say that. I take that back. Okay. But it's true. There's so much thought and so much care and so much energy put into a commercial because everybody's job is on the line usually.
Or to put it another way, every day brings a new challenge. To succeed in the cosmopolitan world of persuasion demands a belief in yourself just as much as in the product. The risks may be high, but the rewards can be enormous. It's a Sunday morning in London, and I'm on my way to a secret rendezvous. The man I'm about to meet does not wish us to reveal his whereabouts, which is a little bit surprising because he's known as one of the most flamboyant entrepreneurs in this business. You know, sort of Mr. Showmanship down to his fingertips. But he likes his privacy, and he feels that a man's home is his castle. And now that I've seen his home, I know just what he means.
Oh, I think there's a lot of egotism. There must be, because the advertising business is one of the last few truly remaining entrepreneurial businesses where you live or fall by the power of your decision. And in fact, everybody is allied to the success or failure of that business. Therefore, if you have the courage and commitment to live by your own decision, by definition, there must be a certain egotism in the process. And I think the advertising business does attract people who are self-conscious or implicit seekers after stress. They are actually looking for that excitement, for that competitive atmosphere. Therefore, by definition, they must be egotistical, yeah.
Now, if the advertising world looks a little bit like a jungle, it's not without its headhunters. Now, that's the term that's actually employed for the people in the business who act as the go-betweens. For instance, suppose that an advertising agency wants to recruit someone from another agency, but they don't want to make the approach direct. That's a little bit crude. Well, they go to the headhunter. The headhunter will then approach the person. Or it can work the other way. Suppose that somebody working for a company isn't very happy. They'd like to make a move, but they don't want to make waves. Well, they'll get in touch with the headhunter and say, "Do you happen to know of any openings?" And that is when the jungle drums begin to beat.
Well, I think, from what I've seen...
The queen of the London jungle is a very beautiful lady, headhunter Freddie Tarrant. She runs the London office of an international group headed by another lady, Judy Wald. Somebody headhunted Miles Young while we were making our film. He's now moved from Lintas to a new job as an account manager at the colourful kingdom of Peter Marsh. How do you get your information, though? How do you know that someone is unhappy, someone might be ready for an approach, that sort of thing?
Well, if you think in the course of a working day, for me, I might well have a breakfast. I will obviously have a lunch, and I will have drinks in the evening. In between that, I will have interviewed probably 4 people as well. So really, in the course of a day, I could actually meet 7 people. Now, The ones that I interview in the office will be brand new people to me who I've never ever met before. The information they feed me, and it's not gossipy information, but it's information about the accounts they're working on, the art director they're working on with, the account manager they're working with inside the agency. It all comes out in the interview as to the reason why they actually want to move on. So if I have 7 of those a day, I've got an awful lot of information at my fingertips.
They will also tell you not only why they want to move, but what they want to move for, won't they? Now, is it always a question of money?
It's not, certainly on the creative side, it's not a question of money. It'll be very often a question that they haven't been able to get what they think is very good creative work through. And they actually want to work on different accounts, really.
But however softly it's mentioned, money is important in making talent move from one agency to another. And so are the kinds of perks which are wrapped up in what the business calls packages.
Well, they will get a base salary, they will get a motor car, they will get a television, which is obviously very important that anybody in advertising should be able to watch television. You know, and after that I would assume that, I don't know. It's better that I don't say.
Well, people may be reluctant to talk about it, but those perks constitute one of the main rewards of working in this industry. And however they're packaged, those rewards can be very substantial indeed. But isn't there a danger that such an exclusive lifestyle could mean losing touch with the very people they're trying to motivate?
Well, first of all, I come from the working class, and so there is very little of working class attitudes and mores that are unknown to me personally, and that is a thing I hope a lot of politicians would have the perhaps background and instinct. They wouldn't make such bad decisions. One works outwards from that. Most people in advertising tend to come from working or middle class backgrounds from a variety of places in the UK.
Do you ever ask yourself questions about the morality of what you're doing?
No.
About presenting people with a lifestyle, portraying the ideal, which they may not perhaps be able to afford, but which they're going to break the bank to try to buy, all that kind of thing?
No, and I think, again, that's a very naive question. Advertising is an art form, and if you believe that, as I do, then you also have to believe that in certain parts of this country, not necessarily here in London, but out of London, advertising is an art form, and it is the only form of art that a lot of people are subjected to.
That's not what you're about, though. You're about getting people to buy.
Yes.
So what do you mean it's an art form? Do you see it primarily as an art form?
No, of course not. Primarily, we're selling the client's products.
I don't see anything wrong with that. It's showbiz. Superman doesn't really fly, Charlotte, you know, but it doesn't make any difference, you know. I mean, it's the enjoyment of it in a way. And in the States, I don't know, maybe it's different here, but if you don't like the commercial or you don't want to watch the commercials at that moment, you just tune out.